Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Forking Around Town podcast. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Now that football is back, I wanted to bring on an expert since I'm not an expert at anything other than pizza. But Ian Beckles, how are you today?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm still kind of recouping from that Steelers loss, even though...
Smashed.
It was bad. It was bad. Even though I'm wearing my 49er shirt today. You guys have to see this real quick.
Flip-flopper.
No, I'm not a flip-flopper, and that's what I'm going to bring that up. I love the Steelers more than the Niners. That's a fact. But growing up in, the San Francisco Bay Area, how could you not be a Niners fan? I've always liked them, but I love the Steelers. So there's a difference. So could have been worse. We could have lost to Dallas. That would have been horrific.
So you picked the most successful AFC and NFC team?
No, it's not about picking. It's about where you're born.
Okay. So you were born in, where were you born, Pittsburgh?
No.
I was just checking.
So let me explain myself. Lucy, please explain yourself. Yes. Okay, fun fact. My dad is from Pittsburgh. All of my Italian relatives that came on the boat all settled in Pittsburgh. So I grew up, my dad is a huge Steelers fan. My mom, big Niners fan. The reason I love the Steelers, and not a lot of people can say this, myself, my brother, and both of my kids were all born the year they won a Super Bowl. It's kind of cool.
It's different.
So as I got older and started appreciating them more in their history, that just became a very special little fun fact I like to throw out. I almost went into labor with my son when 2006. You remember that when they were the 6th seed and they went on to the Super Bowl?
I do remember.
Jerome Bettis fumbled at the goal line, the shoestring tackle, all those things.
Big Ben.
So it was meant to be. I was
clearly.
I was pregnant with my son. I really wanted them to win, so that was a very special year. But anyway, so with that being said, I dislike the Cowboys very much. I get a lot of crap for that, but I've never liked them. I mean, how could I like the Cowboys as a Steeler and a Niner fan? How could you?
Possible.
It's impossible.
Actually, it's impossible. If you like, and I've heard people say before, I'm a Steeler and a Cowboy fan. No, you're not.
You can't be. It's impossible.
No, you can't do both of those. You can't be a Cowboy and a Niner fan. Can't do both of those.
Exactly.
It's just certain you can't be a Buccaneer and a Saints fan. There's certain teams that don't go together, and those are some of them. Yes.
Exactly. And people give me a lot of crap for liking two teams, but also
you dish out a lot of crap.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
To you, but that's a little different.
Yeah,
I really don't that much.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a little more low key. I just wear it on a shirt now.
How many times have you ever heard me say Buccaneers?
Suck.
No, they're 1-0. They're 1-0, and the Steelers got trounced, so I don't know.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be nice.
I'm always nice.
I've had a rough couple of days, especially fantasy football.
Yes.
That's killed me.
I kicked ass in fantasy football.
You did?
Both my leagues kicked ass.
I thought you sucked at fantasy.
I do, but I got average 135 points in the first week. Even a blind squirrel finds some crap sometimes.
Oh gosh. Anyways. Well, with football season being back, I wanted to have you on to discuss something that is, for some reason, it's such a big thing, but it's not drinking during football season. Now, how long have you been alcohol-free?
A little over 2 years.
Okay. So for me, my year anniversary was August 28th.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Last year, I stayed away from sports bars. I used to go all the time, and the problem is you go in to watch a 1 o'clock game, you get sucked in. Next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock at night, and you're leaving.
Correct.
And you've spent a shit ton of money. You feel like crap, and then your Monday's even worse, and then you just get through the day to make it to the Monday night game and drink more.
Facts.
So I stayed away last year. I had to. I have all the apps where I can watch games on my phone. I spent the majority of my football Sundays just doing grocery deliveries and making extra money. But as the year was going on last year, I started really sampling different non-alcoholic beers, wines, spirits, ciders, seltzers, and functional beverages.
Correct.
And I have to say, we still have a long way to go as far as sports bars in Tampa, but they're starting to offer more options than just a Klosthaler or O'Doul's. And I have to say, though, there really is a market for it. I'm hoping to see some more businesses really open up to it and have better offerings, because there's a huge amount of people that really don't drink anymore. And I've seen it more in these last 2 years than ever before.
Well, as somebody who doesn't imbibe anymore, the last time I went to a bar, it was one of the worst experiences I ever had in my life. I just don't want to be around people touching me and breathing alcohol in my face. I don't want that anymore. So for myself, I don't go to bars anymore. I just don't. I mean, I have nothing against bars. I mean, I own a kava bar. Okay, so you come in all these stuff. Most of the stuff here you can purchase at a kava bar. So, alcohol and people not drinking alcohol don't always mix well. Okay?
It doesn't.
It doesn't mix well.
It doesn't.
And you would think, I'm just gonna go to the bar and hang out. No, you're not. It's just not. It's not the same. It's a vibe. So for me, I mean, all these things are great. And we sell a lot of this kind of stuff at the kava bar. But real bars myself, like I don't love beer. As a taste, I used to drink beer to get drunk, like everybody else. But I don't love the taste. Like, I don't want a non-alcoholic drink. Like, I just want, I drink kava and I drink kratom. It's doing something completely different. But like the alcohol, the taste itself, I don't really miss that part of it at all.
Understood. But, there's been situations where I've been in a restaurant and, like, for example, I went to a hockey game last year.
Yep.
So it's not open anymore, but it was called Garrison's Tavern in downtown Tampa.
Yep.
So it's hard when you go there after a hockey game. You're sitting at the bar. So you just want a little something to kind of make you feel like, not such a weirdo with your soda or your water. So they actually have, I don't have it here with me, but the Heineken non-alcoholic. It actually tastes better than regular Heineken, believe it or not, to me. I've never liked Heineken.
I don't really love Heineken.
It's never been mine.
And don't let somebody think you're a weirdo because you're doing something that's better than what they're doing.
No, listen, I'm okay with it. I just know, and I hate to say this, but when I bartended for many years, and unfortunately there is that stereotype when someone doesn't drink, you automatically assume you're not going to tip, which is, I'm the complete opposite. I over tip even for a freaking glass of water.
I'm the same way.
But, it's just, after a while it just gets annoying when you have the peer pressure and having to explain. I don't know why everyone has to know. Why don't you drink? What's wrong? Just have one beer. It's not going to hurt you. It's frustrating that there's so many questions because you've made a decision that's beneficial for you.
Your friends will never tell you to do something that's good for you.
Right. It's always
they shouldn't.
The bad seeds.
Like, there you go.
Absolutely. Well, I've really, taken a lot of this last year, and I've been trying some of these different beverages. And like I said, they have come such a long way. Peroni, for example, Peroni is one of my favorite beers. I had it for
Italian beer.
It is. I had it for the first time in Italy. Real funny story. My cousin and I are in Rome. We go to this little convenience store, get a bottle of beer, thinking it's a twist off. We're sitting on the Spanish Steps. I'm sure a lot of you heard of that in Rome. And we couldn't open our beers. So we're sitting there banging them on these old cobblestone walls, trying to open up our beer. And we sat there drinking Peronis that were, the whole top was broken off.
Interesting.
But that was kind of my funny story. But Peroni is absolutely fantastic with pizza. They've done a fantastic job on their non-alcoholic beer. It goes great with a nice like pepperoni pizza with maybe some hot oil or spices on it, maybe some pepperoni cups.
What doesn't go well with pepperoni pizza?
Well, I'm just saying the beer is just perfect.
Yeah. Pepperoni pizza
really
is perfect in itself.
Yeah.
You can drink it with water and it's perfect. It really is.
You're right.
It is.
Corona, this by far I think is my favorite non-alcoholic beer. They actually sent this to me a few months ago, and I gave one of these to a friend of mine who loves Corona, and she did not know it was non-alcoholic. I completely tricked her. She had to look at it and say, are you kidding, right? I said, no. I like to enjoy this for, Taco Tuesday, maybe watching football. Really, really great. Ciders are another one. I don't drink a lot of ciders just because of the sugar. I try not to drink a lot of sugar. This one is great. You'll have to try it.
I have to say, this
It's
one
pretty
doesn't have low cal, not that much sugar. It's not bad.
It's actually really good. And the cans look great. So if you're sitting with this drink, no one's going to think twice. You don't have to, after your team's losing and you're in a bad mood, you don't want to have to answer a million questions as to why you're not drinking. Now, Mitra 9. Let's talk about, Let's talk about Mitra 9 and the success you've had with this product here at your Kava Bar. And now that football season, people can come here in South Tampa and watch games. So,
well, I mean, Mitra 9 is my go-to. And like when I go to restaurants, I bring Mitra 9s. The other day I went to Icy Sharks and was eating some oysters out there and brought out Mitra 9s. And
I saw your story. I was
and the guy's like, you can't bring alcohol here. I said, this is tea. And he just said, okay, that's all good. But to me, that's the substitute. You can't walk around with these Kratums all the time. This is kind of my thing. But that just makes it easy. It tastes amazing. And it goes with anything for me. And I don't drink soda anymore. I would rather drink a Mitra 9 myself. Yeah. So it gives you a nice feel, but it also tastes delicious. I love them.
Yeah, I found for these drinks, I don't feel anything strange. I just feel a little more relaxed.
Correct.
That's it.
Well, Kratom, it's a seltzer, so it's a little less. Although Mitra 9 is coming out with a kava drink that's going to be substantially stronger. Okay, so they are kind of they're dealing with some of the people who want to feel a little bit more. But the seltzer doesn't hit you as hard as the regular Kratom. It's a substitute. And it's just something that makes it easy for people who don't drink alcohol to be elsewhere, being at the beach, being at the pool or whatever. And that can looks better than one of them White Claws, terrible tasting things.
I used to love
terrible.
White Claw.
Tasting.
I've always liked club soda and seltzer, so I was definitely one of those that drank White Claws. But you don't feel so great the next day after having a few of those. I actually took some Mitra 9 when I went fishing a couple months ago, and it was the perfect beverage to have on a hot day out in the water. It was wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I know. The captain was like, "What is that?" And he's a big drinker. I brought him a can. He fell in love.
I had a captain as well, and he was like, "Let me try one of those." And he was like, "Oh my God, these are amazing." I said, "I told you."
Yeah, absolutely. One try of these, and I'm telling you, you'll be hooked. Now, if you want to go online to Mitra 9 Beverages, you can place an order, and you have a discount code, I believe.
I do, Dignitary. Dignitary is my code, so punch in Dignitary and you get 20% off.
You can also use code FORKING to also save 20% if you want to support me and my code. That would be awesome. So now, here at Dignitary, you show the games on Sundays for people to come and watch?
Yeah, I mean, Dignitary is a spot where I don't know if a lot of other kava bars are all that big on sports. They don't really go together. For obvious reasons, we love sports here. There's a lot more sports fans come here. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 of my former teammates hanging out here, watching a little football. We have a lounge back or inside here where it's 420 friendly. If you have your medical card, you can indulge and watch the game and enjoy yourself while you're drinking a little Kratom or drinking a Mitra 9. So it's just a different feel, and we got a 10 foot by 6 foot television to watch. So it's not hard to see the guys.
Makes it great.
It really does.
I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I'm sure one exists probably in New York, but I would love to see a high-end non-alcoholic sports bar that serves an elevated type of bar food on the healthier side.
I guarantee it exists.
I think that would be awesome, and that's what we need, something like that, with like baked wings and just upscale pizzas and things like that.
Idea.
I think it would be awesome because you're going to have to bring them in for the food because you're going to already kind of be missing a drinking crowd. So I think with everything non-alcoholic, that would be fantastic.
Let's create it.
Have you ever been to a non-alcoholic bar? I know, aside from this, something that do
I've
cocktails.
been to kava bars in general, but there's a couple that I've gone to here as of late. I can't think of the name. Canna something opened up in St. Petersburg. I was there at the grand opening. It was cool. It was little drinks. It wasn't really my thing. Like non-alcoholic drinks are cool if they're there, but I don't really go out to do that anymore. You see what I'm saying? I mean, especially since I'm here all the time.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't need to go elsewhere to find a non-alcoholic drink when I pretty much reside in a place that does it.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah. But I really want to share a lot of these with a lot of you because I get a lot of people that reach out to me and secretly and say, I think I drink a little too much. I'm trying to cut it out. Like, what did you do? How did you have so much success? And I think I've had success for 2 reasons. I was ready. I wanted it. But also, number 2, I'm having so much fun. I feel like I've kind of tapped into a new hobby by discovering all of these beverages. And there's a place in St. Petersburg called Urban Flow. And they are a non-alcoholic bottle shop. You really need to check them out.
I've heard of them.
They've got, you used to like sours. They have got an entire shelf of non-alcoholic sours that really taste like the real thing.
Nice.
So I definitely think you should give them a try.
And I will.
I am just amazed at the amount of products that are out on the market now. There's non-alcoholic wines, which I'll be the first to say, I've struggled with those. I remember trying them back in the day when I was pregnant, just disgusting. I dumped them right down the drain. But I like sparkling wine, and I found a product called Zilch. It's California produced. One of the better ones. It doesn't taste like you're drinking a sparkling apple cider. Really nice and light. You can make mimosas with it. It's really, really actually quite tasty. So I'm really trying to, showcase some of these beverages because, if you're ready to, drink less or completely stop, these are wonderful alternatives and you're not going to feel like you're missing out. That I think is the first step is feeling that peer pressure, because a lot of people don't know how to handle it.
I think if you try to cut back a little bit and see how good you're feeling, and then try a little bit more, and then you just see how it ends up. And I'm just never going to be a drinker again. I could say that with a straight face. I won't, because I remember how I felt, and it doesn't. I don't want to feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've gotten to that point too. I don't think I could even taste alcohol anymore. It's weird. It's like it almost like it repulses me. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to even try it.
I get it.
Yeah, and I haven't had any desire or temptation, and like I said, it's been over a year now.
More weed.
So, I don't do that.
Sucks to be you.
You are such a bad influence.
I'm a good. What do you mean? I have a medical card. Nobody ever talks about nobody taking pills that are killing everybody. Well, I'm not a bad person smoking weed.
Lord have mercy.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
I ain't killed nobody yet.
No, you haven't. Well,
this week.
You haven't.
No, I have not.
Well, anyway, now I know Ian has to run.
I do have to split.
I just wanted to bring him on for a quick second and tell people where they can find your wonderful watering hole.
Dignitary Tea and Kava House, 4817 South West Shore Boulevard, on the corner of Guarantee and West Shore. I have the In the Trenches podcast. I'm on the Bone on Saturday for a football show from noon to 2. And you can follow me on Instagram at Ian_Beckles.
Don't follow him. He doesn't need any more followers.
Deuces.
Don't follow him.
Enjoy yourself.
Bye, Ian. Anyway, yeah, thanks to Ian for joining us today. I wanted to have him come on because, he's, former NFL player. He used to be a really big drinker. And it was, ever since I've known Ian, I always associated him with football and drinking. So just to see someone like him who's gone 2 years now without a drink, it's just, it's inspiring. And again, like I've mentioned, I get so many people that reach out to me and are struggling, and I want to try to help as many people as I can. And so I'm trying to share a lot of my favorite products that have really gotten me through this whole year. Now, I have a couple of fun things that I'm actually launching on my Instagram as well as my YouTube channel. First and foremost, if you go to YouTube, you can look for Tracy Forks Around Town. That is my YouTube channel. Every episode of this podcast will be on there. I've got a series of different shorts on there as well. And I'm also excited to announce that starting this Friday, September 15th, Frozen Pizza Friday is back. I did a little bit of this last year where I go through and try all the different frozen pizzas on the market. I actually do a video of me trying them, discuss them, rate them, and things like that. I had such a great time last year. Home Run Inn, the frozen pizzas that are Chicago inspired. They were very kind. They sent me a little gift pack because they really liked what I was doing. So I'm going to be showcasing a few more of their different varieties of pizza. I am also starting on the 17th of September, it is called Spirit Free Sundays. So each Sunday, I will be reviewing a new non-alcoholic beverages, whether it's beer, wine, seltzers, you name it. I'll be showcasing those on my channel. If you guys have any suggestions or products that you really love, you can send me an email, tracy@forkingaroundtown.com, or you can just message me on Instagram at tracyforksaroundtown. Also, I've also started already on Wednesdays, Wing Wednesday. This is a little bit of a variety. I'm also, in addition to just doing my own variations of chicken wings and doing them at home, I'm also trying out some different chicken wings at different restaurants and sports bars across all of Tampa Bay and anything that's close to me. So this is kind of a fun thing for me. I'm really big on preparing stuff at home. It's just, for me, it's fun. I made some wings last week. You guys can check out my recipe using Terrapin Farms Sweet Heat, which is a sauce that comes in a bottle. So all I did was get some chicken wings at my local store, season them just a little bit with I have a poultry seasoning I use. You can use whatever you want. Put them in the air fryer. When they were just about done, I tossed them in the Sweet Heat sauce from Terrapin Farms. Put them back in the fryer, got them nice and dirty and crispy, and then gave them one final toss with the sauce. Guys, I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because I made them, because I can't take credit. It's the air fryer and the incredible sauce by Terrapin Farms. But they came out so good. My kids were like, Mom, these are better than any restaurant wings we've ever had. And I purchased 8 wings for $3.47 at the Interbay Meat Market in South Tampa, otherwise known as a green store. If you guys live in Tampa Bay, I highly recommend checking them out. They have some of the best prices on chicken wings, tenders, different types of steaks and sausages. It's kind of my football headquarters for any types of food and dishes I'm preparing. So definitely give them a try. So thanks again, you guys. I really appreciate all of your support and listening. Don't you forget, a new episode comes out every Friday on radioinfluence.com or wherever else you like to listen to your podcasts. You can also check out my YouTube channel, Tracy Forks Around Town, and you'll see each episode updated each week. And also, of course, on Instagram at Tracy Forks Around Town. I usually will give a kind of a preview of the current podcast for the week, as well as any of the things I mentioned before, my chicken wing, pizza, and non-alcoholic beverage reviews. Guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe. And just remember, if you're going to a sports bar, don't drink and drive. Call an Uber, or better yet, don't have anything to drink. Have a great weekend.